this is my first day after an 84-hour work week, so we'll see what I feel like getting done today. But got this here thing. Now I got to start making the rest of them. I'm gonna take this off, I'm gonna duplicate it, I'm gonna use these measurements to do the ones for the back and in here, and hopefully get some shit made today. We'll see. Let's get this one apart. Alright, that's what I gotta duplicate. Let's find some stuff and do it. What happened here? It's sorta almost clean. Yeah, I did that last week too before I closed up. So here's some chunks of 1/4 inch so I can do my duplicating. So I'm not going to use this one because it's got that. I don't know why I did that. I did that for some reason. Don't know why. So I'm not going to use that for this part anyway. So I'm going to base it on wherever that hole falls, and that's where my shape's going to be. So I'm going to try and shoot for that. And mark that off so I don't do it again. So we'll do that. Can't use this because of that, so I'll probably end up cutting it right here. And that'll give me more on this side. And I'll put this here because it'll be the duplicate of, it'll be that one's twin. The other back one's twin. And then I'll have my two center ones, which the center ones are going to be a little bit different. They'll screw from the bottom. The top will be the main arm.
Are you longing for some relaxing time outside? Seeking to soak up some much needed sun? Well, don't be stuck with that itty bitty tiny balcony about having to mow the grass. Now, Metal Arc Homes will take care of it for you free.
So let's cut the let's drill these. I can't drill that one yet because it's right here. Once I get these drilled, then we'll do the layouts, cut those out, and then once this is split here, then I can grind that edge, and then I can drill this one and start duplicating it from that. So now it's hole drilling time. Man, get me one of them twisty misties, you know what I mean? That's the one I'm going to use to trace. So I'm more or less done with this guy. Let's get him buttoned up and just back off to the side. Now I can kind of chill now until I get this one done. And there you can see the difference in the height and in the hole. So that's the difference with that saw when I do that final cut to cut this ears off. That's the difference that'll make. Otherwise, the rest are identical. Perfect. Time to make some more. I think before I go on, I'm gonna grind this here smooth so it'll clamp easier in there, and also then I can start working on those. Alright, now I got to make 2 more of these. One here, except they're not gonna have this notch in the back. I'm not quite gonna cut the end yet, I don't think. So let's now that I have one that isn't cut yet, line it up and trace it. Tabada babada 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 doobada 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 hep 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 hep. One of those times it shattered, I chipped the tip, so it doesn't like to cut as much now, but got a couple more. Well, those might be the last ones I have to. We'll see. Anyways, now it's time to drill those holes in there. 2.5 millimeter. Not too bad for handmade, huh? They're pretty the same. These ones are ears are a little funny shaped on the last set, but whatevs, they'll work. Alright, so I got my 2 rear, the basic shape done. I got my 2 fronts, the basic shape's done. Obviously I still gotta cut the ears off and ream a couple holes, but that's that. Now I need to work on the center ones. So the center ones are going to tie into these. They'll just have a pivot. So I think I'll end up cutting a slot and then grinding the other ones to have a thing sticking out. Or maybe, what else should I do? Maybe, I mean, I could just put a link end in there. I don't know that I want plastic on it, though. And I don't have any metal ones. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna cut a groove and go from there. slot, huh? Alright, so there's going to be the pivot for the center suspension. Now I want to decide where my actual suspension pivot is going to be. If it was in the center, it would distribute its weight evenly on these two. If this were in the center, it would evenly displace its weight on these two. Right? So, that means this one would be getting kind of double the weight. So I need this one to take less. So to take less, the pivot would have to move more towards this one. Let's go a little bit this way of center. Let's see, if I have that there, that's forward of center. So hopefully it should put less weight on that to make even weight distribution. Now I could do math again probably, but again, like before, I still hate math, so I choose not to. Space them 190 center to center. So that's the space I'll have to fill in the center. That's where the center axle is going to go. So now I need to make an arm that fits in between and links and holds an axle. This one's going to be tricky, right? 22 millimeters I need on this side. So right there is where that hole is going to be. It's going to have to have enough meat for the pivot, right? Just do it like that. And now the bottom has got to be cut right there.
The guys had allegedly been kept quarantined after testing. Only one out of all the fighters tested positive, and he wasn't allowed to actually fight. So, and he was the one who was forthcoming about having a relative.
And it's got to have this stuff. So,
that person, and even though he was asymptomatic, he was kept out of it, and everybody else seemingly was okay. But that's my point. It's like, well, if they're already okay, then why are they staying apart at the weigh-in? Or is that just?
So how are we going to cut that?
Either way, it's nice to have sports.
I'll have to cut out and in, or
My family likes to do stuff, but Mama Bear loves to save her cash. That's why the first stop for any family in the Minot area isn't the ATM. It's to MinotDeals.com. They've worked out deals with some of our area's best restaurants.
if I do it like that,
To give you 40% off gift certificates. That's right, 40%
then I can cut it there
pizza or ice cream, 40% off. Going skiing or
and drill in right through there.
teenage daughter's new outfit.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
But in a good way. What's best of all, the deals are always changing.
So this top edge has got to be straight.
All the time. For fun families on the go, you've just got to stop at MinotDeals.com first.
Business owners, would you like to be part of MyNotDeals.com? They're always looking for great partners who want to cash in on the web-savvy consumer. Their unique program, partnering with Minot area merchants, allows you to keep the income and people coming in. So what are you waiting for?
Okay.
Reach your city and your customers through MyNotDeals.com.
It's the Wesley Drive for 200. We're out to sell 200 vehicles in 1 month. It's the best time to drive home a new 2020 Ford F-150. $6,000 off and 0.
So that way this one, it'll do that number.
For 6 years on the 2020
Instead of having flat ears, it'll have a flat bottom.
military, we're matching Ford's rebate for an additional $1,000. 200 units in 1 month. The Wesley Drive for 200.
Let's see how much room I have now
South Broadway and Minot.
from the center of the axle to that one.
Lightning,
Got about
even damage to your harvested
22 millimeters. Who'd have thought?
No? Well, ours does. We're Nodak Insurance Company. We can cover you for hail and so much
So let's
more.
go approximately
Knowledgeable agents custom tailor your crop hail insurance to fit your
22 millimeters
Call your local
till it would hit that next arm. Now if you notice, this has that little step, right? It goes halfway up.
INS.com.
Measure twice, cut once.
So
If you cut more than
If I want this one in the center and I want this one down below,
To go to Muse Lumber. If you need it, we got it. Windows, doors, siding, cabinets, or flooring.
oh, we'll cut this one like this.
Over 110 years of combined construction knowledge. So whatever the project,
Put a nice radius there.
visit
Boom.
MUhardware.com or see us at 2700 Burdick Expressway East. Muse Lumber.
The class of 2020 is a historic one, and together they're embracing
Then we'll go in.
making it their own.
How far in do I want it to go?
iHeart's commencement podcast with new graduation speeches from the biggest
See, from center there's 20.
philanthropy and
Let's have it go
graduates everywhere.
about 33 millimeters.
Graduation tradition unlike any other, as T-Mobile starts the Toss Your Cap Challenge on TikTok to celebrate and recognize our graduates. Speeches drop May 15th on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And then I'll put the pivot for a link right there.
Four Bears Casino and Lodge is preparing to open and is looking for people to fill full
And this will be rounded.
Work in a comfortable environment with flexible hours plus overtime. Full-time employees get health insurance, paid life insurance, 401k, vacation, and other great benefits. Start or restart your rewarding career at fourbearscasino.com. Just click on employment.
For info on this job and others, go to 1053thefox.com.
There we go. That's what it's going to look like. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Making a meal with every
Alright, so that's it with the starting tap. So now let's get this bottoming tap in here. And like I said, this will give me a few extra threads over the starting tap. Now this one shouldn't have to do much work. Most of it was already tapped. So this one shouldn't have very many chips. Just right there at the end is where it starts doing its work. Alright, well turns out this side's a little long here. So I'm gonna fix it by changing this one, these ones. This side's a little short, so I gotta stretch it out. My hole should be like right here. Somehow I measured wrong. So I figure rather than stretch these, I'll stretch these because I just have this one piece. I can cut it, weld a new flat piece on the end. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now I can try my new TIG torch.
hairdressers and barbershops and stuff to come back online today. Obviously, with proper social distancing, the amount of sanitary items, a lot of those places aren't even ready to open.
Wow, this little WP9F welding torch is real nice to use. Way nicer for the small stuff. Boom! 95, 95. Money, money. Look at that. Now I need to cut these apart. Now I need to cut my clamp areas so that way they can clamp like that one. Now before I do that, I'm just going to radius all these two. Put a nice final shape on them. Now that I got them all drilled. Alright, I got these here like this, and that's gonna be it for today. Another day I'll have to do all my cuts to make all these things and get them connected and mounted up. And that's all I got time for today. So if you'll see, I made both of my suspensions. We line them up. Or both of my arms, sorry. And it gets me 95 on center spacing. So perfect. And all with the axles in line, taking up the same space. Then I took them, rounded them off a little bit. I'll still have to lop off my ears here with a saw one day. The next time I have time to do that. That's really it. I'll have to make my links here. That'll be easy, just a bunch of little pieces of metal. But for now, it's all we got time for. See you next time.